Brian Sutterfield. I'm not going to go quite in order. What I do is I am a security engineer, but I'm red team focused, so more towards the pen testing and hacking. Worked for the Indiana Office of Technology. I was a SEAL for the first part and now full-time for just over a year. And then before that, I was a truck driver. So I drove semi for 6 years, did fast food before that, a lot of odd jobs, and finally got into what I actually enjoy doing. So I've been working on computers since I was about 13. Me and my best friend, we actually built a gaming desktop out of spare parts that his dad had lying around. That was fun. Since then, I've always been like the go-to tech person, but never wanted to pursue a tech career. I had kind of a bad experience in an IT class when I was in high school, and I was also a headstrong kid who thought he knew everything he was going to do. I was going to be a rocker and tour the world, but I toured a lot of places, but not the world yet. So getting into trucking, that was fun for maybe the first year. And then, the snow starts to set in. It starts to get real nerve-wracking. I team drove, so I'm sleeping while another guy is driving through all of that too. Very difficult. Finally, it was just like, I need out. I was talking with my parents, and, this was tail end of COVID, the full lockdown. So I found 1150 Academy, did their cybersecurity course, and just absolutely fell in love with it. So 1150 was not bad. There were a little bit of hiccups here and there. Everything had, transitioned from being in person where you were hands-on with stuff to being online. So I can't really blame them for that, but the instruction was pretty good. We had a lot of good teachers who were very willing to answer all my questions. Then it kind of helped me to find and then fuel that passion for the learning side of things, which is something that, at least back in school, I always kind of struggled with. So that actually moved into, I started WGU a little bit before I started this program and just finished a bachelor's in cybersecurity there back in May. So moving into the SEAL program, so I'd gone all the way through 1150 and had been at WGU for a couple years. I had 3 certifications. It was the CompTIA trifecta, A+, Net+, Sec+. And so then when I started with the SEAL program, I was kind of working in tandem with SEAL as well as with WGU, doing the Pen Test Plus certification, kind of getting that hands-on feel for what I would eventually be doing and all of that, fun stuff. It was a very rewarding program. I've never had a job where people complimented me to the point where I'm like, okay, I don't know how to handle that, right? So it was very good for me. So I have that bachelor's degree. I'm up to 10 certifications now in various areas. So we are still, as a pen test team, kind of in the training areas, because that is not a very easy thing to just jump right into. It's very easy to break things. So we're still working on that training side of things. One of the very interesting things that I noticed as I was doing WGU, going through the SEAL program, and then, getting into my job, is how often I would have a class on something, and then 2 weeks later, I'd be doing something with it at work. So I was taking that theoretical knowledge I was picking up and then immediately applying it, or vice versa. I would have something I was doing at work, and then one of my classes, I'd be doing, all of the background information of learning all of that. So that was kind of really cool to see those things start to fit together between the SEAL program and IoT in general, with everything that I was learning from school and certifications. Day in the life right now is really mostly all research. I do a lot of hands-on testing type stuff with Try Hack Me and Hack the Box, where, safe place to go and hack things and not get arrested, because nobody wants to do that. But like right now, I'm going through all of the tools that our pen testers that have done external pen testing use, as well as, all of the tools on Kali, and trying to get an understanding for how they work and how everything fits together into performing that full pen test. If you talk to anybody in tech, they will tell you that certifications can be a little bit out of date. They tried to fix that with the continuing education thing, but things come out way too fast. So I have a news feed. I think the app is called like Flickr or something like that. Starts with an F. I don't remember. But I pop it up. So I have it tailored to cybersecurity and tech and just general things in that area. And it gives me, bite-sized doses of what's going on. And then if, something catches my eye, like, oh, hey, there's a new exploit out there. Hey, we've got this new, souped up computer coming out. I can, click into that and then get all the details that I need from there. It's also good. Any podcasts or blogs or anything like that from people in the field, great place to find good information on not just trends and things coming out, but how to use things, what tools people are leaning towards over others and why, and stuff like that. So I think in terms of pen testing, I would say a new tool for that comes out pretty much daily. But that also doesn't mean that the old tools are useless, right? A lot of that stuff is still valid. It just gets, used forever until we've figured out a way to completely turn something off. So there's not any, one new tool that I've seen, but there are new to me tools that I've seen. So like a good example would be Maltego. Heard of it? It's used for open source information intelligence gathering. I'd never really played around with it because that's not something I have a ton of experience doing, but it was one of those that I just really took a liking to as I started to look into it. It can, go out there and get information from everywhere and bring it back for you, which is really cool stuff. In the short term, I've got a couple certifications I'm working on. There's always a couple, certifications to work on. I'm going after the PNPT, it's Practical Network Penetration Tester. I hopefully want to have that done by the end of the year. Beyond that short term, so we are currently trying to build an in-house red team, right? And what I would like to eventually see us doing is going from, just doing the occasional pen test into our red and blue teams working together, attacking not our network necessarily, but maybe some kind of lab environment where we can have the red team attacking and the blue team trying to figure out what we're doing, and then cross-train each other on how to do those things. That's something that I've talked with Brian Hartz, who is our main SOC guy right now, who's currently training. In fact, he just trained, 4 SEALs, I think? And they also all, I think, just graduated as well. So, but eventually, I know a lot of them have interest in red team. I've got interest in blue team where I haven't gotten real hands-on. I would love to see us be able to take all that knowledge and just show each other how to use it while getting better at what we individually do. Document everything. So that's one of the projects I'm working on right now, is going through, all of the tools that I've been using, how they work, all of the information about them, going through, rooms I've done on Try Hack Me or Blue Team Labs online or any of these gamified learning sites, and documenting out the process I use to get through these challenges, right? Even, all of the different awards or, things like this, interviews, all the different things that I have done throughout the process. And that it serves really 2 main purposes for anybody trying to get in tech. One, it's impossible to remember everything that you've learned. So now you have a place where you can go to look at it, right? The other is that it reminds you, because I know a lot of us struggle with like imposter syndrome, and we struggle with just being able to be sure that we are doing the job we want to be doing. It reminds you of everything that you have done to get to where you are. And that, for me, was honestly a little bit humbling. I was like, oh crap, I have done a lot in the last couple of years. So it's been a really cool project to work on for me.